leadership experience prepared you for this position? And also going along with that, how would you collaborate with other student organizations on campus if elected?
I've had the great privilege to give back to Eastern. It's given me so much as an honor student and as a presidential scholar, and from day one, from the moment I stepped on this campus, I felt like I needed to give back to all of you for giving me so much. And so that's why I've involved myself in so many different organizations, from Vision to Model UN to my sorority to Colleges Against Cancer, and now to student government, which ended up being my home, first as a senator, where I worked on the Political Action Committee, and then as Director of Student Relations, now where I've had such a great time learning from our student body president and vice president, and from our senators and our other directors, and then from the student body itself. I've been able to meet so many new people and hear all of their great ideas just from being in this position, and I'm really grateful for it. I think that it's important for student government to reach out of its bubble, because I think that at times we get so caught up in programs we've done in the past, we have to do them again. Collaboration is a wonderful thing. It's something that we talk about on the third floor of the Student Center, which is the Involvement Center, at our retreats all the time, and getting other offices like Campus Life and Student Leader Group, and that's why we have Student Leader Groups, so all of these major offices can sit together and brainstorm and work with each other on these ideas that we all have differently. I think it's important for us, since we do fund student organizations, to go to those events, and having our senators reach out a little more than they already do to make those relationships stronger with student organizations is extremely important. Thank you.
I've been involved in multiple different facets as far as leadership roles go. From being a part of groups like the Muslim Students Association and the Latino Student Association and INSA and the Japanese Student Association, close-up theater troupe. I mean, I can keep going, but the one I want to talk about outside of student government right now is that there is an organization here, Michigan-based, US-based. It's called Development in Literacy. I was the person that they chose and trained to go overseas to the Afghanistan border, and I helped set up 9 schools across that border for little girls. These are elementary type schools where I was the superintendent, I was the person who found these sites, I was the facilitator, I bought the books, I found the teachers, and I instilled those programs across that border 2 years ago. So to be a leader, to be able to do this, you need to be able to know how to implement plans. It was one of the most amazing experiences I've had. I spent over a year at St. Jude Hospital, Children's Hospital, that Danny Thomas founded, and I volunteered there for a year, and it opened up my eyes, and these kids taught me more than anything that I've ever learned. And every single day, I'm very happy for every single minute that I spent there. So these type of experiences, not only at Eastern but outside, have taught me how to really, really be a good leader and to be a really, really good follower. Because to be a good leader, you have to be a really good listener. And that's one of the main things that we all have to look forward to. As part of student government, I know how it works. I know the ins and outs of it. So I know how to go about instilling these plans. But at the end of the day, it's about bringing us all together. It's about being the best leader that we can be. And it's about instilling these leadership ideas and qualities that we have, and transcending them into the student body, because that's who we're representing. So thank you so much for your time.
Jelani?
I've been a resident advisor, as I've said before, for the past 2.5 years, and I know Jeff has been an SI for how long? A couple years now. So, and I know for both of us, I guess what we've found is working with students is, in both of those jobs, we do have a constituency, and it's students. And in my case, it's residents. I have 70 of them that I take care of on a daily basis. Sometimes as an enforcer, other times as a friend, sometimes as a mentor. And daily, at my, either outside of my door or on the way to the bathroom, we're talking about the different issues that they have, either personal, sometimes about things that are dealing with school. And I think that's one thing that we would be bringing to office, and working with these different student organizations is that we've had a lot of experience talking with people, gauging what they need, what they want, and how we can help them. One of the things that we would want to do working with student orgs is simply just by attending their events and going to their meetings. One org that we met with, in the 10 years that they've been on campus, nobody had visited them for a student body election. And that's something that we want to change and make sure that student government leaders are visiting these orgs, big and small. Some of them that have 50 members, some of them that have 5, because it's not necessarily about how many there are, but about the innovation and the ideas that they bring to this campus. And it's that kind of reminder that we want to bring to the office and how we want to assist and communicate with different student organizations.
Jacob?
I've been a part of a lot of leadership positions throughout my 2 years here at Eastern. I'm the Vice President of RHA Resident Hall Association this year, and through that I've been able to start Habitat for Humanity chapter on campus. Vision's basically the affiliate, you guys want to call it, for Habitat for Humanity, but we don't have a chapter on here on campus, and that's what I've been trying to do this year. And actually in the process of almost being complete with that, we just have to do the bylaws and stuff. I've helped start a fraternity on campus, Delta Sigma Phi. Maneve is one of my brothers. I've also been part of During Spring Break and NSOA. I love helping out others. I love community service and stuff like that. And all this have helped me become a leader and communicate with others. And also, it's also helped me bring the team together. Because without being a team player, then no one's gonna like you, and you gotta have everyone like you to be a team player. Collaboration, I just think that's awesome. I love networking with people and meeting new people and working with other organizations. RHA and student government worked together this year. I believe every organization should work together. My diversity program, I hope every organization on campus, all 300 of them, come together for that, because I just think collaboration is the best, and I want every student to be heard and feel a part of us. Thank you.
The question is, being truly diverse would need to include conservative programming. Do you have any plans for this? We'll start with Jacob.
That's a good question. I mean, we're all here for the students, and whoever wrote that question, if they have great ideas for doing something, come up to us and let us know, because we'll probably, of course, listen to you, and if it's a great idea, do it. Conservative programming, I mean, you said media and stuff, bringing like Fox News over here and telling them we're diverse and stuff. I mean, we can do stuff like that. I mean, thanks.
Jelani?
I think it'll be important to look at programming, just seeing what programs that are going on to make sure that they are the most effective, because I think we have a lot of programs. But I think another thing that's, I guess, just as important, make sure students are coming to those programs and communicating those programs to the students to see which, I guess, programs we should be more conservative about. Yeah.
And Maneve?
I think we're all still trying to figure out exactly what the question means, but give us a little bit of time. So conservative programming and being diverse is what I kind of heard. Well, I think it is extremely important, obviously. We all agree that, you know, diversity here on campus, because that's one of the things Eastern celebrates the most. So if that means that we need to implement ways to bring that out more, we need to be more conservative, then let's do that.
And Phoebe?
Okay, so I think Eastern, especially being in Ypsilanti, close to Ann Arbor and Detroit, we get pegged as a liberal, very liberal left-leaning school, which is okay. But sometimes I think that conservative people who identify with a conservative ideology feel sometimes left out, I guess, is a bad way to put it. But I think that asking those students for their input on different issues and not just assuming that, I know with our gender neutral housing that might not fly with some of our conservative students, but then asking them how they would see it run differently would be a good alternative and a good way of including them. So yeah.
Commuter campus parking has to be a priority issue, yet it's consistently denied as an issue by the university administration. Notice we said administration, not faculty. I want to make that very clear. Do you believe that the parking situation should be improved? What initiatives would you take? And in particular, what would you recommend be done about the paucity of handicapped parking?
Well, it's nice to know that somebody suffers with the rest of us. Nice to know that you suffer with the rest of us when it comes to parking, because parking is an issue. For the platform from Jeff and I, it's the first thing that we mention is parking. What we want to do in order to relieve parking, and both in a way that's cost effective for students and also green, is allow students to have bus passes with AATA in order to use the bus passes so they can get from their home, particularly in the Ipsy Arbor area, from their home to here and back. I think that's a very good way, a very cost-effective way for students. We know it's going to be expensive for the university, but the thing is, it's important. We continue to see fantastic increases because people want to be here, but when parking is full, that's not very welcoming. Dr. Martin said in her speech at the Gold Medallion that we are a welcoming campus, and that's true. But when a sign reads full, 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 and it has welcome on top, that doesn't add up all the time. And I think that's something we need to work on.
Jacob, parking.
Yes, I will improve parking if I'm a selected student body president. Personally, I don't have a car on campus, so it doesn't really hit me hard because I agree with you, no cars. But I think, funding a new structure would be very hard, and we can't really do that on campus, but we can have places off campus that shuttle them here, or we can get students to carpool and recycle to go green. And also, we just gotta get the students to get their voice out to the administrative, not the faculty, and tell them that we need new parking areas and do something about parking. Thank you.
Thank you. Phoebe.
Well, when I say that Aaron and I are innovative with old problems, I think this is one of our biggest, solutions to this problem. Currently, I'm sitting on the AATA's Moving You Forward committee, where they're seeking community input while they draw up plans to completely revamp the Washtenaw County transit system. And so they asked me as a student at Eastern what I would like to see short-term and long-term happen in Ypsilanti and on campus. And I've talked with a lot of different students, and I've talked with faculty and administrators, and adding a second bus route I think is an ideal goal, and it's something that wouldn't come out of our pockets as a university. The AATA would be footing the bill essentially, so it wouldn't come out of your tuition. It would mean that we as students could use our parking that exists at the Convocation Center, not just for Washtenaw students, but for us, and across the street from the Convocation Center. And then creating a second bus route around the surrounding communities, and then that way we can do kind of a positive double-edged sword so that we hit off-campus safety and parking.
What did you think of the debate tonight?
I was glad that most of the candidates kept it pretty respectful. That's important, but honestly the debate is really somewhat inconsequential, as most of the students here are supporters of the candidates. I hope streaming it online will be successful, that it can reach a larger amount of the constituency. But overall, I was pleased.
Do you expect that the number of total votes will be more than it was last year?
Yeah, absolutely. There's an intense amount of competition. Not to mention there are a significant number of Greek candidates involved, and that always brings in a lot of votes. But I promise you that it will be maybe double what it was last year, which I'm pretty excited about. It offers a certain amount of legitimacy and credibility to any campaign that has a high voter turnout.
Okay, thank you.